Aquarius, welcome to your Celtic Cross reading. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. Let's jump on into it, yeah? Show me what I need to see, please, for Aquarius. Show me what I need to see, please, for Aquarius. What's going on for Aquarius? Show me Aquarius. What's going on for Aquarius, please? Show me Aquarius. Like always, these are general readings. Therefore, take what resonates, leave what does not. What's going on for Aquarius, please? King hit off the Emperor, dead center reading. Nice. What's crossing? King of Cups. Well, okay. That's kind of a biggie, not gonna lie. All right. What's hovering above you? King of Swords. Ace of Wands is in your relevant past. What is leaving behind? King of Wands. You really seem to be abandoning this sense of passion, no matter how strongly you feel towards it. You're showing me fire elements that are on the way out. We're having a hard time connecting to the heart space here. There's this place in you that says, currently I need to have my strongest and hardest thinking hat on. That's a lot of energy. A lot. Goodness me, we're only missing the King of Pentacles, but you're already showing me the Emperor. What is before you? The Star. You. Beautiful. Okay, strengths is in your strengths. Also beautiful. You got some majors here today, honey. And your environment, the devil, something ain't shaking out right, honey. Hopes and fears to keep your heart open or not. Okay, Nine of Cups is your outcome. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm terribly curious about why that devil is in your environment. Don't care for that. Strength is indeed your strength. That's beautiful. There's something in you that says we must forsake passion at this time. And even the King of Cups is in the opposing position here. So it's kind of like the more intense feelings are on the fritz, I suppose you could say, at the moment. That's a lot of power energy in here today. A lot. But it's kind of like, right now, feelings have to be set aside. There's something within me I have to achieve, and I have come to this rational conclusion that now I need to be strong, very much so. Not just strong, but in charge. And I need to use the strength of my mind and the strength of my will at this time. Not feelings, not fire. Okay? Your general sense of aptitude. It's because, like, I'm working on something. Okay? I'm working on something. I'm working on my hopes and my dreams, and sometimes we have to set our bigger feelings aside in order to achieve that. Okay. Very curious about this. In your hopes and fears, Page of Cups, a little bit of heart space. A little bit. Outcome, Nine of Cups, personal sense of happiness. Hopefully I'm looking at what looks like an Aquarius who is achieving their goals. And it's looking like you had to, or at least in your estimation, set many, many things aside in order to do that. And sometimes life is like this. Okay. Okay. Let's start right there with the Emperor. Show me the Emperor, please. Standing in our power, being large and in charge, being commanding at this time. Okay. Show me the Emperor, show me the Emperor, show me the Emperor, please. Show me the Emperor, please. Excuse me. Four Cups, Queen of Wands, Temperance. Heavy Sag energy right here on the opening with Aries, but like I said, we got a lot of power energy here today. There is something in you that you wish to heal. Your passion or sense of direction specifically. There's something within your fire that says you are disappointed. And you're looking to heal this. Specifically, it looks like your drive and or your ambition. I don't know that it's necessarily tied to someone at this point. You have shown me so much power energy. Are other people influencing you? Sure, I believe that. But it's kind of like I need to influence myself at this time. I have been recently hurt, okay, and or disappointed. And what I see you doing here is that I need to heal my own sense of confidence. Okay, King, Queen of Wands are all about that confidence energy. And that would also explain to me why I'm saying that King of Wands is on the exit. Something about your confidence is not where you want it to be. Something about how something in your world is taking shape, specifically what looks like you are, or you understand yourself to be in charge of. You want to change it in a different direction. Okay, because you don't like the way things are going or where things are headed. So it's kind of like your energy's heavily, heavily pulling rank at this time, saying, I need to get this in order. I don't like whatever that direction is. I'm very curious about that. King of Cups is in the opposition. Big feelings. The strength of our, the strength of our particular heart. Show me this King of Cups. Show me this King of Cups. Show me this King of Cups, please. Show me this King of Cups. Three of Pentacles, Death, Eight of Pentacles. Something that we thought would work out is not working out. Okay, so we don't like the direction of this at all. And it could very well to do with coin. I don't know that it's necessarily a personal relationship at this point. It could literally have to do with work. Something here is not shaking out. Something here is not panning out. We put work into it. Can't say we didn't. All right, I see the effort right here. But it's looking like it's a case of non-cooperation. All right, straight up. It's looking like non-cooperation. Somebody is not working with you or collaborating with you, sharing ideas, sharing the responsibilities. I see somebody being busy with the Eight of Pentacles, but Three of Pentacles in the work context, collaboration, friendship, whatever that is. The suggestion is that you and I are doing this thing together, and we make good partners. We're collaborating well. We're sharing ideas, and we're both putting work into this. Death. No, somebody's not. And this has put our feeling for this situation in a bad space. So for some of you, this is straight up work orientation. Something's not working out. You don't like the way things have turned in a particular direction, and so I'm seeing this force of will energy rise up in you as the Emperor. I got to take charge of this. I literally have no confidence in this construct, and frankly, it makes me feel kind of bad. You know, I'm disappointed by the results. I am disappointed by the lack of cooperation. And while I used to have good feeling for this King of Cups, it's now in a place of opposition. And in other words, I don't feel good about this anymore. This construct, this dynamic, I'm putting work into this, somebody else isn't. That's straight up non-cooperation, and so thus your feelings for this situation have become affected. You want to get back into a place of, I want to feel good about what I'm doing again. Okay? It could be circumstantial. It's feeling heavily more like it's on the 3D world of actual monetary output. But again, as it applies to you. The distinct feature here by far is a lack of cooperation with somebody here who's supposed to be pitching in. Non-cooperative effort. Somebody is, the other person isn't. And thus, the feelings have gone sour on this. They have gone south. And you don't like it. You don't like it. So I see you pulling rank. How can I fix this situation? How can I resolve it? So again, we kind of put our hard hat on. King of Swords, that's you. Show me that King of Swords, please. Influencing you. Every day, being the big kahuna. The one who decides. The one who puts their feelings aside, okay, and has to kind of exude that rational day-to-day energy. Coming from an analytical space, and that would make sense to me if you purposely withdrew your emotions for a situation if you don't feel good about it, and now you're having to look at it from a more, okay, how am I going to handle this now? I was feeling good about it, and now I'm not, you know. Yeah, non-cooperation will do that. I don't know. King of Swords, there's that King of Cups, Five of Wands, the Seven of Cups. You're looking at the options right now as we speak. Yeah, there's a fight in here. There's some kickback. There's some definite kickback. And that King of Cups, again, is frustrated. The feeling within you is negative about whatever this is. And there's frustration. There is arguing, particularly about direction, how to sort through something, how to resolve it, how to get through it. A big chunk of you is angry. You know this intellectually. You know this. The Aquarius I'm looking at, you know this. And here you are trying to figure out how or what method, what approach am I supposed to take, okay, rationally speaking, and then also emotionally speaking. So it hasn't completely shut down, but you do want to get outside the negative emotions. I see you looking for a solution. I'm sorry it's so vague. Honey, there's just such large-scale energy here today. There's definitely more than one person involved. So again, that's why I'm leaning heavily more towards work environment, or might be an extensive family dynamic where there is frustration and someone's not cooperating when they were expected to. It was like an all hands on deck type situation, and not all hands were accounted for. Yes? That's what I'm looking at today. And we pissed off, but you're trying to approach it coolly. How do we solve this? How do we solve this? How do we solve this? Yeah, we don't like it. I'm seeing a lot of kickback and a lot of people's micro and macro feelings are involved. And what should otherwise be a productive something. It was expected. That's what's funny. It was expected. And the expectation is not coming through. And it's causing tension for everybody. Somebody here done dropped the ball on work output, efforts, feasibility, biting off more than they can chew. I don't like how we're going in this direction. Well, I don't like the output. Well, I'm into this and I want to feel good about it again. How do we get this back into a place of confidence? Someone might be doubting the other person's decision making because that's in here as well. I mean, there's a lot in here today. Ace of Wands in the relevant past being sparked up for this, right? Being sparked up in some way. I'm jazzed up for this. I'm excited about this opportunity. Show me this Ace of Wands, please, in the relevant past. Show me that Ace of Wands, please. Ten of Swords, you were excited for it. Jeez Louise. Eight of Wands, the Fool. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there was communication here in the relevant past where it seems like everybody was excited. We were all talking. There was a buzz here. And we were opening ourselves up to whatever this Ace of Wands was. We had the excitement for it. We were engaged in it. And then just as soon as that energy came in, it almost immediately got killed. What the heck? What the heck? What is up with that? It's like a boom. As soon as this Ace of Wands made itself known, boom, just as quickly it got shot down despite the excitement. There is an exuberance here. There's a freshness here. There's like, yes, let's do this. I'm open towards it. We were communicating. We were excited. We was happy. And then it got shut down real quick. Like super fast. What the heck happened? Show me that King of Wands, please, on the exit. I can't tell who is what or doing what. I just see a reaction to it and you're trying to solve it. Show me that King of Wands. I know you want to heal your sense of confidence, pacing, how this is moving. The Emperor wants to rein this nonsense in and fix it. Show me that King of Wands, please. Six of Wands, the confidence. There it is. The Ten of Pentacles, contribution, Four of Pentacles. Ooh. Somebody might have bit off more than they could chew, honey. Somebody might have bit off more than they could chew. I see you participating in this. You're frustrated by it. You're trying to find solutions and it's hard. You keep coming back with, well, we were excited about this, or you were excited about this. What happened to all that fantastic energy? Somebody here, I feel strongly, bit off more than they could chew. It was kind of like a confidence of, I got this, and I got all this, and we can do all this. But it was like they were stubbornly holding on to this. It was like a false confidence just because somebody wants to hold on to something, be it a job or a connectivity thing or something to do with our foundation. Just because we have pride for it and just because we're excited about it doesn't mean realistically we can do it. So again, somebody bit off more than they could chew. Somebody stubbornly held on to something to do with their foundation, their pentacle energy, and said, I got the energy for this, but actually, no, they don't. They don't. I wouldn't have argued with that energy at all if I hadn't seen the chaos that preceded it. It looks like somebody went trippy out the door happy, okay, to take part in something new, and we're talking about it, we're communicating, we're excited. But when it came time to pony up the actual output, someone's failing. Someone's failing in their work, their ability to communicate effectively, to bring it together like they promised, and they said that I got this. It came from a place of pride. Four of Pentacles, Six of Wands. It came from a place of pride. I can hold on to all this. I got it. I got the energy for it. Meanwhile, you're like, my enthusiasm for this has gone way down. It's gone way down. I was feeling good about this, but now my enthusiasm, now that I'm seeing the output, there's work contribution here, but not the right kind. It's not coming together. And I'm frustrated. And I'm trying to find a solution to this because somebody's energy is all over the damn place. And the output is, that's what happens, by the way. When we run our energies and our efforts in multiple directions, there's no way we can possibly hold on to all of it. Something's going to suffer. Something's going to fall off if it doesn't have our full attention. And there is a situation / work / community, possibly a family type situation where somebody's trying to say that they can accomplish this, they can accomplish this, and as a result, the work effort's getting sloppy. Okay, Something's not coming through that was promised to come through. And somebody had this energy of, I got this. Their confidence for it is exiting. And that was false confidence as far as I can tell, because it was coming from a place of stubbornness. I can do all this. Interesting. Show me the star, please, in the immediate future. I see you over here being very frustrated in your heart, but you're also looking for solutions simultaneously. It's like you want to rein all this activity in and try to make it make sense. Getting it back to a place of function, because you literally opened up with, I no longer have confidence in this, and I no longer feel good about this. I see the work effort, but somebody's not pulling in the weight that they said they could, promised they could, or they were shooting their mouth off, thinking that they could handle this, that, and the other. That's some bold confidence. That is, I can do it all. Can you? Because it looks like somebody's struggling. Show me that star, please. King of Wands, the Lovers, Page of Swords. That's different. Well, that's different. FYI, completely off topic. Completely off topic. This is completely off topic. I got someone here looking at, gazing, and longing for a very strong connection. It seems to have nothing to do with this. Don't know where that came from, but it's coming up. In the immediate future is stars, something that you, by all right, seem to strongly desire and strongly hope for. It's a little different. That King of Wands is out for very different reasons. I don't know who this is to you, if you've even met them yet. I just know that the process has begun. In that respect of possibly energetically connecting to someone who has nothing to do with this chaos. It's more on the personal side, much more on the personal side. And we want to open up towards it. Somebody does. Somebody's looking very intently at someone they strongly identify as a lover. You know, strong connection. It feels very compelling from this point of view. We're still looking at it with the Page of Swords, but we have the full fierceness and passion for it as the King of Wands. So as far as I can tell, the intensity for a situation, specifically connections, rising quite strongly. And it seems like it's a matter of time before it introduces itself. Whether or not we know this person, I don't know. I just know that somebody consciously is aware of them because they're gazing at them. Okay? It's different. It's a different kind of King of Wands compared to this one. It's different. This is much more personal, King of Wands. Not ambition, King of Wands. And that is very indeed, much indeed, a personal connection right there. And it's part of you. That's you. And it's in your immediate future. So when it will unfold, I don't know. I will, of course, do a time check. I don't know. It's tentativeness with that Page of Swords, but there's a fierceness of energy behind it that suggests I want this. And I'm trying to open myself up towards it. We gaze upon this person with a very strong sense of something like that. I don't know how they fit in all this. It doesn't feel like they do. This feels like a completely large-scale game of life over here. I don't think this person's part of it. This is like, oh, FYI, this is more on the personal side, Aquarius. Okay, it looks lovely. We have what looks like gaining interest in this. You're either looking at them or they're looking at you. Somebody looking at somebody. But since it's literally over your star, I don't know, but somebody's got that energy, the intensity of the star, King of Wands, and the Lovers. But Page of Swords. Just looking. Just looking. I'm not doing anything right now. Just looking. That's what I'm saying. Wow. That's almost sweet in a way. When it will become more solid, if it does, I don't know. Because right now, all I can see is that we're in a watching phase, not actually interacting phase. Is this someone we know? Well, somebody kind of knows the other person because they're looking at them. But in terms of it being a pre-existing connection, I don't know. Let's keep going. That's chaos. And we are trying to rein that chaos in. Okay? We're trying to rein this particular chaos in. Strength is in the strengths. Very good. You need to be strong at this time. Yeah, I can see why. There's a bit of a mess in there. Lots of obligations flying all over the place. You said this, I said that. This is what we agreed to do. This is what we have to do. Oh, yeah, big man, big woman. You said you could do all of it. Well, your confidence for that's going out the window, isn't it? Oh, gotta rein that chaos in. Oh, my. Otherwise, that's lovely. That's so simple. They're so simple and sweet compared to... There's a lot of people involved in this. Like I said, it feels like an all hands on deck type situation, but somebody's hands keep missing the path or something like that. Show me strength, please, and strength. Aquarius' strength is that you are indeed strong at this time. You might have some very strong Leo in your chart. Show me strength, please. Knights of Pentacles, slow and easy. Page of Pentacles, the Five of Wands. See, we're still frustrated. We're frustrated because whatever is pre-existing here with that Five of Wands, okay, that causes frustration in your heart, and otherwise what would other be a full heart. We are still struggling with this. That's why you're showing me you have to be strong. Okay, strength is in your strength because it seems like whatever this frustration is, whatever this kickback is, whatever this anger is, it's slowly being worked through. Unfortunately, it does not look like a swift resolution. Not enough work is being put into the situation to resolve it fully or completely. Again, there's more than one energy involved to smooth out this particular operation, and it feels like we are doing our best to keep it in line, to toe the line, to keep everything in charge and in command. But because there's more than one person involved, we're slowly picking our way through this. Slowly. Pentacle by pentacle, we're sorting this shit out. And that's why you're showing me strength. Okay. I'm sorry, honey. And I'm sorry it's so vague. I really couldn't tell you. It's like there's a smorgasbord of energies and ideas in here and frustrations, like I said, that are both micro as well as macro. Everybody seems to want to have their say. Everybody's got their 2 cents. And so that's why I keep seeing you trying to be like, yes, I recognize that I'm frustrated within me. Okay. King of Swords, Emperor time. Right? Transformers. The devil's in your environment. No, I don't care for that. Could be straight up Capricorn energy. Doesn't have to be. Show me that devil, please. In Aquarius' environment. Show me that devil. Show me that devil, please. Everybody's got to have their say. Show me that devil, please. The Hierophant. 7 of Swords. 8 of Swords. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, honey, that's tits. That's bad tits. Oh, sorry, it's a Southern expression. There are so many Southern expressions with the word tits in it. I don't know how. It can be good. It can be bad. It could be somewhere in between. But it's like, man, that's like rough tits right there. I'm so sorry. Oh, and I am. No, I am. That's rough energy. It ain't pretty. Okay, we've got some Capricorn. We've got some Taurus here. You could have some very strong placements in your chart. Could be connecting to one. And I'm leaning towards that simply because it's under the environment category. The Devil and the Hierophant both represent a certain level of intimacy in that respect of somebody's reinforcing and stands by their negative beliefs and dispositions. That's a lot of willful blindness, and somebody stands by it. That's really bad denial. Okay. I have something here that suggests commitment. Doesn't have to be, but it suggests commitment in the environment. And it doesn't look like it's going so well. Okay. I got 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords. Someone's always trying to back out of the worst of their thoughts, and then they double down on it with the Hierophant, saying it must be true. So the Hierophant's a great guy, and the Devil is often depicted as the bad guy. And this is a great time to point out that they both have their pros and cons. All cards in tarot do. Depends on what we do with it. Okay? The energy. So here's typically our favorite guy, right? He's the best guy. Here's the bad guy. They can actually be one and the same. You have to remember the Hierophant is the enforcer. spiritual enforcer. These are the rules, these are the agendas, these are the normatives, okay? He didn't write the rule book, but he's been destined to enforce it. So even if he doesn't technically agree with it, he'll keep abiding by it because, hey, it was written down 5,000 years ago. The devil is over saying, I've got this really strong pattern of fear. And the Hierophant's saying, yep, that's absolutely correct. Keep going with it. So this is when the Hierophant's used for the negative. Reinforces our deepest fears instead of addressing them. We'll use any excuse in our official spiritual rulebook to not have to address our bigger faults. So in the environment here, this is a problem. And as far as I can tell, that's a lot of mental negativity. 7 of Swords and 8 of Swords. This is a lot of willful blindness. 7 of Swords, I don't want to address it. 8 of Swords, I don't want to see it. I don't want to address it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to address it. I don't want to see it. So I got two people here playing that kind of ping pong with each other. We got problems, but we're not going to address it. And that's not good. This is not good. There's a good chance here I'm seeing some level of codependency. Well, if I stay blind on this subject, so will you. And we can both keep going like that. It's interesting because this is a very deep interpersonal issues between two people. But how it's playing out in 3D is that many people are involved. And I don't know. There's something about that output in the 3D that suggests it stems from here in someone's environment with someone else. It's like we keep ourselves busy and distracted. Someone's pride says, I can handle this, I can handle that. But they don't actually put the work into it they said they were gonna. And these two kind of back each other up. It's the chaos of one's foundation and home environment is beginning in the home. This is how it must be. That's just how these things play out over and over again. It starts here. That's not a great combination. That really makes me nervous. That's a very strong sense of there's nothing to discuss and there is no problem to see. I told you one's reinforcing the other. Here's the fear. Patternized fear of willful blindness, and this guy's saying, yep, that's absolutely correct. You know, it's best not to look at these things sometimes. That's what makes me nervous. It's best to not ask questions. You hear that a lot? I know I did growing up. It's best not to ask questions. That's usually the first indication that you should be. I don't want to look at this too deeply or too far. I don't think you do either. So let's just not. Let's make our lives as chaotic as possible so we don't have to look at ourselves and our environment. See what I'm saying? So I don't know who's in there with you. I don't like it. But given that level of willful blindness and how one's playing off the other, issues about some sort of relationship where two people feel that even if they're not committed, that they are still committed. That level of denial has made room, I believe, for this chaos because it really feels like you're not on the same page with this person. But here's the thing, there's more than two people here. The busyness, the fussiness, the loudness of it. Everybody has a say. Everybody has an opinion. I'm disappointed with this. I don't feel good about this direction anymore. You said you would put all this work into it, that you could handle it. No, you can't. Well, guess what? Other people are starting to fuck up too. I'm trying to find a way out of this for the both of us. It's kind of like if all this fury was resolved, all this nonsense, the craziness of it, if this was resolved, it's like you two would actually have to look at each other. But all this fury, all this sound and fury keeps us distracted, right? So we don't have to really deal with this person or the situation that's more closer to home. Sometimes things that are chaotic, we just put more chaos on top of it so we don't have to look at the real issue because that's just so much fussiness. And I understand we all go through these work periods where it's like things are not pulling through and we have to put in extra effort. But this This is jumping all over the damn place. Page of Cups, your hopes and fears. Keeping your heart open. Afraid to keep your heart open? Do you still have love for the situation? Let's take a look. Show me that Page of Cups, please. Show me that Page of Cups, please. I got two people over here poorly influencing each other, and then they act like they can't see it. The stars. There it is again. Five of Cups. The Hermit. God, there's so much in you that you would like to heal, but you find so hard to find that space for yourself. It's interesting I see your star twice here in your immediate future. That special connection that we look at and we have very strong desires for, but as far as I can tell, we haven't engaged in it, not yet. It's also reflected in your hopes and fears. Do I have heart for this? Can I open myself up towards it? Because I'd like to. Ultimately, I'd like to heal myself enough to pursue my hopes and dreams. And one of those many hopes and dreams isn't just normalcy and deflating the situation, but it seems to be tied to a very strong connection. You might have some Virgo in your chart. All the earth signs are here. You still have heart for this. There's hope in the wish, even though there's pain here. The Hermit with the Five of Cups. It's like there's some pain in me I have yet to resolve. Otherwise, I'd like to keep my heart open towards my hopes and dreams. You have some healing to do. You have some healing to do. That hope and that desire in you is still very much alive. It's not gone. It hasn't left. It's still there. But it's like I'm not in the position to open my heart towards it as much as I should like. Okay. Show me that Nine of Cups, please. Show me that Nine of Cups, please, and the outcome. I hope one day you get there. Because you seem to know that this person... You seem to know that this person's a good fit for your heart. Something that's a little bit healthier. Higher functioning. Show me that Nine of Cups, please. Show me that Nine of Cups, please. Show me that Nine of Cups, please. Nine of Cups, the Three of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. I don't know when. I just know that it seems to be headed in that particular direction. That person that we still have healthy hopes for, healthy love for, that you hope one day to make your heart ready for, I see you connecting with them in time. I do. Whether or not you have actually met this person, you know them well enough that you can look at them, and I believe that's you. It is over your Power card. And the only reason I think you haven't opened up your heart towards it is because you know you're not ready, especially if you find yourself repeatedly in an unchanging, unending kind of toxic environment where two people are playing off each other's worst fears but refusing to acknowledge them, etc. So they make their lives as chaotic and busy as possible so they don't actually have to look at each other. I don't mean to be reductive. It's just what I'm saying here today. So once more, take what resonates, leave what does not. Just because it says Aquarius in the title doesn't mean it's for you. Check your other placements or I'll catch you in the next one. No need to add any more sound and fury to the Aquarius I'm looking at, you know? Anyway, back to that. Your heart softens in the near future in a way that actually makes you happy and feel healthy, and it has nothing to do with the chaos. I, by all rights, believe you will be connecting with him in your outcome, and you will feel very good. Nine of Cups. The Knight of Cups, your emotional expression. Three of Cups, I believe you're connecting with him. Again, I don't know if it's a connection that you have yet to really formalize in the 3D, or if it's a reconnection that, again, you have yet to formalize or try to bring back together in the 3D. It's open to either interpretation at this point. That Page of Swords doesn't really tell me. I know we know enough to look at them. But Eight of Pentacles. So not only do we have lovely emotional expression and the bringing things together and to celebrate, we have active, constructive efforts here of Eight of Pentacles. Okay? What looks like an actually healthy Eight of Pentacles. So it's looking like, in other words, it's a fair exchange. One that makes you personally delirious, very happy. Okay. It's that thing over here in your hopes and fears with that Page of Cups. I don't know if I have the heart space for this. In other words, I still don't know if I have love for my hopes and dreams. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I can just see where you would lose track of it or lose sight of it in the midst of the chaos. Okay? Especially if there's such a slow movement towards resolution and not enough work is being put in towards said resolution. And I cannot begin to tell you, Aquarius, honey, how extensive this is. This isn't just two people. There are family in here. There are well-meaning and well-intended friends in here. There are collaborators of the work kind in here, and they're all coming in and they're all pulling at the web, making ripples in the web. When we look at nature, only one spider builds the web. There are multiple people here trying to construct a web, and every time somebody makes an adjustment, it tears another side. That's how I know there's literally too much going on here. This is what happens when we lose focus. This is what happens when not everybody is on the same constructive page in work or in life. Specifically, how the community and or foundation is meant to be treated and or contributed to. There is one massive strain that comes from somebody saying, I can handle all this, and that was coming from a place of stubbornness and pride. Okay? Turns out this was not correct. I see you toughening up and trying to leave your frustrations out of it. And that's no easy thing because you are frustrated. And you're trying to resolve. It's like, hey, remember when you were all fired up about this and you were telling everybody, their mother, their brother, and their sister that you got it? Remember that? Because I remember that. Look at the chaos. Look at the nonsense. And now auntie's having her say, and now boss is having their say, and now best friend down the street's having their say. Everybody's in this business now. Do we really need this many cooks in the kitchen? Because it feels like there's way too much contribution. And some of it's well-intended, and the exchange for that is positivity. I don't know what I was just trying to say. I have no idea. It wasn't dirty. It wasn't trying to be dirty, but I could see where it would sound that way. Everybody's trying to contribute. It's meant to be positive, but some of it's negative. Again, I got not enough people on board with the same goals. There's a running around element I can't quite define. Somebody's energy, two people's energy, many people's energy are just all over the damn place. And there's one time I see your energy focus on one thing. And that is this. Something that you hope for and desire for as an individual. Just one person, one singular person. It's coming from you, I believe. And energy is going outward towards them, even if it is just under observation. Okay? And you, rightfully, under your hopes and fears, saying, I don't know if I have the heart for this. As strongly as I feel for it, I don't know if I have the space for it. I'm healing. I'm in a chaotic situation. And there is some sort of negative, blinding influence that's in your environment that two people don't acknowledge the real issue. I don't know who that is. I don't pretend to know. With the devil on the Hierophant, honey, it's anybody who you share a dynamic with. You and I got problems, but we're not going to address it. Instead, we're going to create epic amounts of chaos in our life to keep us distracted from the real issue. So this is the one time I see you become an individual, and your energy just kind of pulls itself aside and has a sigh, a longing for something, anything, anyone that's not this. And I don't blame you. You want to consolidate your energies to one singular effort, one singular output, one singular sense of love and personal joy. And you're a human being, honey. We all want to love and to be loved. And that's where I see the sigh in your heart. And it's a hope and dream you haven't given up on. And that's beautiful. And I hope that you get to it. I do. Where the focus is nicely experienced within the self, and then outside of you with just one other person, where you can actually harmonize with someone who makes you feel special and someone whom you see them as special and unique. Okay? And to get back to it, I see you doing exactly that, just in your own time. Speaking of time, let's take a look. And that's beautiful. That's healthy emotional exchanging. You seem really, really pleased. You didn't know if you would ever get to do this with this person, or I don't know if that's fresh connection or reconnection. I don't care. Your response to it is beautiful. And again, it's not this. Okay. This is the Divine Timing Oracle deck. It's all right. I understand. I don't see a monetary drain. What I see is a wildly out of proportion sense of resource gathering. I'm going to gather resources over here, and I'm dependent on them, and them to help make this happen. And it's just become fragmented chaos. And this is the only time I see you in alignment, right here in this particular trifecta. Boom, boom, boom. Can I say win, please? This Eight of Pentacles, this Three of Cups, this proposed connection with a strong connection, the hope, the dream, the desire, the wish. Nope. Three of Cups, please. When might this occur? More patience is required. For some of you, you might have briefly connected with this person around March. Perhaps it didn't take. Or it might have been a flitting encounter. For others of you, you will not connect or reconnect with this. You just couldn't, honey. March, for some reason, is just coming across as a calendar bomb. I don't know why. More patience is required. There was brief connectivity, I would say fleeting connectivity. Perhaps that's when you discovered who they are, they discovered who you are, or you had a chance to interact with them in March. But March wasn't the fully developed time. It wasn't. More patience was required. So we're going to fast forward past March. That's the last point of reference I have for you in this. And then they're saying July for some of you. Yeah, within a couple of months. So we'll just take that as a summer reference. Again, if you're, south of the equator, then May, June, July. Okay? So yeah, around July, within a couple months, same thing. Tarot time is concerned, June, July, Yes. It's very curious. Release any attachment to timing. So yeah, okay. So the more we put emphasis on timing, our energy gets distracted and fizzled out and things like that. So let's not put too much emphasis on timing. I am curious, but I would say, yeah, June, July for some of you. A stronger sense of connectivity in the way that you want. Let's get some advice. Advice, please. Let's get some advice. I don't like that. I'm very curious about it, but I don't know if I should dig either. Let's get some advice, please. I don't know if this is a kind of business partner dynamic that we got into, and you two don't want to address the major issues, thus all the chaos ensues. I don't know if that's a marital partner and it's a very similar dynamic. I don't know. I don't know. I could not say. Advice, please. Page of Swords, Ace of Swords. You have a growing knowledge, okay, about something that needs to end. Wow, that was pretty damn direct. Page of Swords, Ace of Swords, the World. That's pretty damn direct. So here's that little guy. And here's the maximum amount of knowledge someone could acquire towards a situation, okay? And in this power of knowledge, knowing unequivocally what it is our decision is, as well as our ability to back it up, enforce it, is going to help us understand that some things rightfully need to come to an end, okay? So something within this environment that you have, okay, that's toxic, codependent, generally unhealthy, where two people are agreeing to ignore what's going on. So they'd rather indulge in all this, okay? That would be my first guess, if I was being honest with you. But then again, there's so much activity in your day-to-day world. There's something easily there that could probably cycle out and take up less of your time as well. I don't know, but you will. That's your master symbol right there with the Ace of Swords. So you have a growing knowledge within you that some things need to be cycled out. I have to agree. Be it one form of busyness or whatever, this self-blinding, I don't want to deal with it. we both agree to not look at it or deal with it, that dynamic would be my first thought, simply because once that dynamic is allowed to break up and change, your 3D changes. You understand? A lot of people change their 3D hoping the bigger issue will resolve. It's the other way around. Okay, everything starts with the head. Okay, what begins to rot up here, the head of the fish. What begins to rot trickles down into the rest. Okay, so I would say if there had to be something that cycled out, it's whatever this self-feeding philosophy that's in our environments that says I don't want to look at it. That would be my first, that probably should go. And the 3D will tend to resolve itself. When we're willing to make changes and we're willing to see our hard truths and discuss our hard truths, our 3D environment will shape accordingly. It's not the other way around. It's not the other way around. Okay? You know, I'm going to change, I'm going to tweak some stuff in my 3D and hope my bigger spiritual lessons and or issues will resolve themselves. That's just typically not how it works. Okay? And I see that theory all the time. I'm going to move to XYZ city and get a fresh start. Guess what? You are still you. And your fresh start ain't going to amount to a hill of beans if you hadn't done any work prior to your so-called fresh start, because you are still taking you with you, right? And I see an Aquarius who wants to heal themselves because they still want to retain a little bit of love, a little bit of hope towards a special connection, which, again, I will point out I am seeing for you in your outcome. I see you connecting with them in a way that looks very peaceful, relaxing, happy. Two people smiling, sharing good conversation. And it's productive, okay? It seems to be very productive. It's lovely, okay? Let's see. It is a sweet, it's so sweet. There's a sweetness in here. Somebody is deploying their emotions, their vulnerability. And I don't know what it looks like, but it's very, very sweet. And it makes the other person engage in the right way. Ace of Wands, the Sun. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there it is again. 8 of Pentacles for 8 of Pentacles. I see two people reacting in a very similar fashion. Somebody is so bold as to be emotionally open and express themselves in the hopes of connecting. Again, possibly reconnecting. I would like to have this exchange with you. And the response is yes, I would like the same. I would like the same. Here is actually a good Ace of Wands. An Ace of Wands that actually has promise. The sun's out, the productivity is high, literally between two people. Do you see how you're reflecting on each other? So I don't know who is so bold and who is so brave as to say, this is what I'm feeling. I would like to see you. Okay? That's a lot of vulnerability there, but it's beautiful. And the other person's response is, yes, very much so. It's like the sun comes out in their response. And then you both have 8 of Pentacles. So it's productive. It's not. I'm not saying you're getting married to this person. What I'm saying is that hope within you, that little hope, that little guy, if you will ever have this dream come true, yeah, it's possible. We'll start here with just opening up and connecting. And you're pleased as punch. Personally, very happy. Yeah, I would be too. Their response is magnificent. They're very happy to see you and connect with you in that way. Again, I'm looking at June, July. Okay? Okay. That's beautiful. I'm not asking you to wait. I'm not telling you to wait. I'm saying it's just not time. And the way your Page of Swords, even though you have beautiful energy behind it, is gazing beautifully at this person. You seem to think now's not the time. And especially if you had a fleeting encounter or re-encounter in March, it wasn't the time. It wasn't the time. There was just some things we were not prepared to open up towards, especially when we were in the midst of this chaos and we couldn't give it our proper attention or our full attention, I don't know what. But it didn't break through when we thought it would. So, okay. That's enough of that. Let's see here. Let's do some Infinity Oracle, please. Self-love. Yeah. I see you showing yourself that as you heal aspects to your heart of certain pain and disappointments and regrets and And through that, Aquarius, honey, through that sorting process with the Hermit and the Five of Cups, and he's looking at the pain and he's sorting through it. What he learns, okay, what I saw, you learn, is that you still have love for this hope, for that special connection, and one that doesn't represent any of this. It doesn't represent false dependency, codependency, willful blindness. It's funny because this is the first time when I see you connect with this person where the 3D energy actually lines up. Over here is chaos. I got a 10 of Pentacles and 6 over here. I got an 8 and a non-working 3 over here. I got 5 of Wands. I got 5 of Wands. I'm stressed. I'm pissed off. Everything's disconnected and disjointed. I know exactly where it comes from. It starts here with 2 people, and then it branches out into multiple areas. I don't mean to go on and on about it, but it's extensive to the point I can't see it. It starts with 2, and then their chaos and dependency leaks out into the 3D, and it ends up everywhere, like an oil spill. So no, it was not the time for this. You're looking upon it, I see you gazing on it, and I see you had interacted with it and it wouldn't come through. There was, I don't think, the appropriate level of time or the emotional availability. But when you both show me 8 of Pentacles, because you're both happy to actually put realistic work into whatever this connection is, and it makes you both happy, it's the first time I see your real 3D output match somebody that isn't difficult, overburdened, chaotic, splintered, fragmented, where everybody's trying to take a little piece out of it and have a say about it. So yes, they represent self-love is my point. When the Hermit heals his pain and his regrets, he still sees at the end of the day that there's love for something special here. And that's you. That's your self-love talking. When I take away all the chaos, Aquarius, do I still have love for me to have hope for this thing? The answer is yes. And it's beautiful. If that ain't the very thing. If that ain't the very thing. Ego, death, and codependency. You don't know. That self-righteousness, the Hierophant, if he's used in a bad way, that is self-righteousness. Ego, death. We don't have a problem. We have the same values. We have the same goals. We have the same page. Let's just say that and roll with it. And meanwhile, look at how that played out. You know, we got the blind leading the blind here. I got 2 people who say, none of this is correct and let's not discuss it further. I love this way of life. This is totally beneficial to us both. It's not chaotic at all. You and I are on the same page constantly. I'm not going to challenge or question you, and you're not going to challenge or question me. Everything's smooth. Let's roll with that. The opposite, the antithesis. Okay, so yes, we need an ego death here of that particular sense of codependency. We don't need to live like this. Just because we're creating chaos. Is that what that is? We're intentionally creating chaos, that way we don't have to look at each other? And we always preoccupied? We're always preoccupied, so we don't actually have to look at each other or deal with each other's nonsense. When we put a fire, we intentionally start a fire over there, guess what's going to distract us for the next couple of weeks, right? Instead of looking at the fire that's between us. You know what I'm saying? If we intentionally start a bunch of chaotic nonsense over there, we don't have to look at the chaotic nonsense going on with us. Is that what that is? That would make a lot of sense. Someone here who is the opposite of chaos is a strong connection. It's the one thing you privately long and yearn for. It's still with you. I see what looked like a fleeting connection in March that would not take. There was no space for it, honey. And we're getting a growing idea of what needs to exit in order for us to be happy. Meaningful coincidences. Yeah, in other words, there are no coincidences. They're all meaningful. Vivid dreams. It's not a coincidence that in one of the few quiet places that you have for yourself, there is something in here about dreams where you have meaningful dreams It's like, oh, that's such a coincidence. I dreamt, I'm sorry, such a coincidence. I dreamt about this, that, and the other. It wasn't a coincidence, honey. It wasn't a coincidence. I wonder what you dream about. Signs from nature. It's like you're being told every day little things here and there, signaling you what to look for. Healing old wounds. I saw that. We do need to heal old wounds. End of a cycle, as I've seen. Through allowing ourselves to end cycles, by the way, ones that are correct to end, we begin the healing process almost immediately, but it's very hard to explain that to someone who refuses to see that there's anything to heal, if there's any issues. And that's a very high degree of willful blindness. I don't like it. Somebody's always getting out of the excuse to talk about real issues, the real shit. But it is taking two to play into that dynamic. And like I said, I feel like we're starting dumpster fires over there so we don't have to look at our own dumpster fire. And that's going to be the hardest thing by far to cycle out of, because that level of denial is very, very high. So again, I don't know who this represents. You and a collaborative partner, working partner, family, friend, I don't know. But that wall of denial is about 3 feet thick. This is beautiful. It's the only time I see you really concentrate your energy focuses highly, and it has nothing to do with this chaos. You dream about them. Purple. Purple stars? I don't know why I'm saying that. It's that, it's like, you ever see, well, when the sun sets, and sometimes it's not always the typical color. Sometimes the sunset is so, the hue of blue is so deep it actually looks purple. That's what I mean. And I'm seeing stars sprinkled over that. So it's not quite purple stars, but it almost looks mystical. Something rich, like a deep purple, velveteen purple, maybe with some stars scattered over it, something like that. You might associate this person with stars. They might associate them with you. The color purple as well. For some reason, I'm seeing it as a combination of the two. For some of you, this is recognition of a particular dream pattern. Something to do with the nighttime skies. Looking up at the stars flying. Rising into the atmosphere. That's for some of you. Free flying, not like plane flying, free flying. That was fast. Huh. Lavender. Lavender. Lavender oil. Lavender flowers. We associate this person with lavender, possibly. The smell or perfume. Lavender baking. I don't know. Okay, Aquarius, you have some... I am sorry for the extensiveness of this and how seemingly chaotic it is. I know it's frustrating right now. You seem to understand that that's going to be a long-standing frustration. In other words, it's going to take a long time to resolve. But again, it's kind of like the sooner we resolve it, we have to find the next level of thing to keep us distracted. So again, that would also explain why I'm not seeing a rush to resolve it, because then we'd have to create another level of chaos if we resolved it too quickly. You know what I mean? And there's this idea of I always got to be busy. I've always got to be on the go. And this helps us keep us engaged with our blindness and not seeing the issues here and where it's actually coming from. So again, I apologize for it, but I want you to take a look at what's going on here. And how are you contributing to it? How are other people, because there's so many people involved in this. It seems to start with two. And then many, many people get their hands on it. I see it frustrates you. I see you trying to keep a cool head. You're disappointed. And then there's one area where it becomes more private and a lot more hopeful. That your energy, all your good intentions can go in one solid direction. And it has to do with your personal sense of happiness, hope, and love. Healing, too. All I can tell you is that they say yes. And I see something coming forward that seems to be the kind of hinge on this whole thing, and that is emotional vulnerability. Where in all this situation, your feelings feel constantly caged up. You can't afford to have emotions. You got to sort shit out. Okay. And then I see you becoming very emotionally fluid with this, and they radiate happiness towards you. Like, yes, I put my Eight of Pentacles together with your Eight of Pentacles. I thought you'd never ask. I just needed to know how you felt. Something like that. I don't know. But it kind of feels that way. Especially when you got all that high baller, high roller energy right there. But it's like, not just yet. I'm shy. It's not shyness. I don't think it's shyness. It doesn't feel like shyness. Do I dare have hope for this? Because this is the one time my energy goes into a direction that feels right instead of wrong, fragmented, or fucked up. You're correct. But we have to heal our emotions, our sadness, our regrets, for either the same person or the situation that surrounded it previously. Can I open my heart towards this? Do I still have a heart towards this? The answer is yes, but you'll know that in time. Why else would you be delivering such a beautiful cup with beautiful intention? And you was pleased as punch. I'm like, good job, Aquarius. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I put myself out there. I love it. All right, that's enough of that. No charms today. The next round of readings is something I'm calling, I will be introducing to the channel, by the way, called Moving On. I feel like this should be pushed more, this concept of moving on. Now, don't get me wrong. I am so very grateful that so many people tune in to me because they really hope to see in depth and in detail the approach I take to explaining difficult emotions. I'm very grateful for that. And as I do my best to break them down, to understand them from multiple points of view, it's a challenge, and I love a good challenge. But what people don't see enough of is what happens when they choose to move on. I very rarely get to see it. And I understand. A lot of people have unresolved feelings and unresolved issues with others. And they want a clue. They want an idea of how to address it and deal with it. And that's why I'm happy to do the in-depth readings. And they go into love more often than not. Yours actually had a lot of 3D elements in it today. Real practical issues that stem from larger areas. So that was interesting. But still, there is an emphasis on hope and love, and that's beautiful. And it comes from the notion, as I saw, as moving forward. So I want people to see more of what's in their best interest when they move on, move forward, make changes, have other plans, do something different, be someone different, challenge themselves. So I'm going to start incorporating that, and that will be the next round of readings 2 weeks from today. Okay? I'm looking forward to it. I need personally more of a palate cleanser as a reader. It would help me. Again, but people's love lives often take over tarot. This had a much larger extent to it. And they will always be part of the readings, of course, 100%. But I also want people to see what happens when they choose to move on, and I mean really choose to move on, you know? All right, Aquarius, honey, you put it in the comments as you see fit. I do hope this helps you. I do like your light at the end of the tunnel. It's a beautiful light, and it's looking like that light is going to become more apparent around June, July. Okay? Like I said, put in the comments. Take care. Be well.